Conklin, we begin tonight with a follow-up to a story we were first to tell you about last week. Chrysler continuing to make it clear that Jeep production is not moving from North America to China. But the story is still gaining national attention, and the issue is the focus of a Romney campaign ad.
13 ABC's Lisa Guyton covers the Jeep beat for us. She talked to union leaders today, and Lisa, they say one of their biggest frustrations for them is that building Jeeps in China really nothing new.
Lee and Diane, Bruce Baumhauer heads up UAW Local 12, the union that represents those Jeep workers, and he says making Jeeps in China is something that started decades ago. He also points out that the billions of dollars Chrysler has invested here speaks volumes about the company's commitment to the Toledo workforce.
Obama took GM and Chrysler into bankruptcy and sold Chrysler to Italians who are going to build Jeeps in China.
That's the Romney ad that has local union leaders fired up.
When I first heard that, I thought, geez, we've always built Jeeps in China. In fact, American Motors went into a joint venture in 1979 with Beijing to create a company called Beijing Jeep.
Ray Wood heads up the union that represents GM workers at the Toledo transmission plant.
It's just really sad that someone that wants our trust in them as commander and chief of this nation would be that deceptive and try to gain access to the most powerful job on this planet through a bunch of misleading statements.
A recent article in Bloomberg reported that Fiat, the majority owner of Chrysler, is in detailed conversations with a Chinese auto group. CEO Sergio Marchionne sent this letter to employees yesterday saying, quote, Jeep assembly lines will remain in operation in the United States and will constitute the backbone of the brand. It is inaccurate to suggest anything different, end quote. Now, Chrysler stopped building Jeeps in China after Daimler sold the company to Cerberus in 2007. But Marchionne has been talking about getting back into the world's biggest auto market for several years.
The big opportunity for us, especially in the Chinese environment, is to explore how we can grow Jeep, because Jeep, to me, is still the biggest international calling card that we own.
Chrysler has invested billions at its Toledo plants, and next year the company will add a second shift and 1,100 workers at the Toledo Assembly Complex.
It's onward and upward here in Northwest Ohio for the auto industry, and I thank Barack Obama for that, and I think Mitt Romney ought to look at something else to campaign on.
Now, the Romney campaign is not backing down from the ad, saying Jeeps will be built in China. And while that is factually correct, Chrysler says the implication that it may cost Toledo workers their jobs is way off base. Reporting live, Lisa Guyton, 13 ABC Action News.
The recovery efforts are underway in the